Hello, I'm Sabrina Schottenhamel here, licensed massage therapist and speaker of Simple Self-Care. I have Ben Fritz with me today, and we're going to do a little bit of a interview slash conversational back and forth about how this crazy virus and this pandemic has affected our businesses. So I will let Ben introduce himself, and then we will go from there. Hi, Ben. Welcome.
Hey, Sabrina. Thanks so much for having me. I'm definitely happy to talk about this today. I think that it's affecting a lot of people, or know it is. So anything we can add to the conversation, I think, is hopefully helpful. As Sabrina mentioned, I'm Ben Fritz. I am a life and fitness coach. I'm actually in an interesting position where I've been transitioning my business. So we'll get into that a little bit more, but so happy to be here.
Thanks for joining me. All right, well, so the first question I have for you is, let's see, how has your business changed since the outbreak of the virus and how they've been shutting down everything? So how has that changed for you?
Yeah, so like I said, I should be able to provide an interesting perspective here because basically half of what I do is in person and half of what I do is virtual. And so the in-person side of my work is personal training, fitness training. And then the virtual side, I help people basically create a life that they can get really excited about and that they love. And so the in-person fitness side of things that's been the one that's obviously taken the hit. And then it hasn't really affected the other side of my business too much. But because of that, it's really kind of got me thinking towards like where I want my business to go in the future. And then even for the in-person personal training stuff that I do, transitioning some of that and like what I can transition to virtual.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, what about you? As I know, obviously massage, it's kind of hard to touch people when there's a virus around.
Yeah, well, so I worked up until Friday evening, and after the announcement of shelter at home, I decided to cancel my clients for Saturday, even though they were confirmed. But I was just worried because one of the clients, she's in her 70s, and, I'm healthy, but like they're saying, who knows if you're a carrier or whatever. Even if you do have the test or you're not having any symptoms, you could pass it along to the elderly or the young and cause them to be very sick. So I decided to cancel them and going forward until further notice. So I let all of my clients know for this week. And, so I'm just doing some interviews with my fellow small business owners so that we can let our customers and clients know that we're still here and that we still need your support, but we're not working. And yes, like I can't go and I can't touch people right now because that's a violation of the shelter at home and the what are they calling that? The social distancing of 6 feet.
Right.
Clearly.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
what I'm just glad is that my husband his company that he works for is an essential company. He's still working, which makes me very happy.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful for that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is a really great thing to have. My wife is working as well, and she's able to work from home, so she still has her entire income.
Wonderful.
Yeah, there's some concerns in terms of, if this were to be drawn out months on months here, then her company is a smaller company. It's not an essential company. So there are some concerns about what would happen to them as a business. And then that would really put us in a bind for sure. So we're trying not to think too much into that and just be grateful for what we have currently.
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, so what has your biggest challenge been so far? Obviously, like you said, it sounds like the fact that you like can't be within 6 feet of people is a huge part of it.
Hmm. Well, yeah, I mean that's probably my biggest challenge is as a massage therapist, I enjoy, in the most professional way, I enjoy touching people. And it is weird, like even my nails are growing out. So one of the biggest challenges is just being home and being alone. And thankfully for technology, we can connect face to face to people. Yes, it's not the same, but I think that's probably one of my biggest challenges emotionally, physically, and maybe even mentally too, is just connecting with someone with my hands. Just giving them my energy and having them feel my energy, and just it's the whole connection thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely feel that a little bit too, with personal training, you know, I'm not touching my clients, but I'm there and I'm with them. And it's especially for those that train with me multiple times a week,
Hmm.
it's a big part of their life. It's a big part of mine as well. And so just not having that human to human interaction and still being in a very close space with somebody and just engaging in this way that we've been for a long time. I've had clients be like, what am I going to do? I don't know what to do without you. I don't know what to do without the gym, because gyms are closed now.
Yeah.
And so there's been some panic on their end. So yeah, it's definitely, it seems, we're kind of in this transition period of, it affects us as business owners, but it also affects our clients in
Hmm.
terms of how can they get the benefits of what we do for them during this time.
So are you doing any virtual personal training right now?
So basically what I've done is, so I'm not doing video at all currently. Again, everything is kind of going to be just dependent on how things progress. But in the short term, I've basically created like a couple of workouts for my clients, all like customized for them. And so they have a couple things they can do at home for the time being. And then, but then of course, the whole, issue of like compensation, how does that, like at this point, I haven't made my clients pay for anything. Like it's just like, here's this stuff, like we're going through a hard time type of thing. But kind of coming back to what you were saying earlier, it's hard from a small business owner because it's like that's still our time and our energy. And while I'm more than happy to do that, it's hard because we still need the support. And eventually, like you said, short term is one thing, but not having their support in a financial sense is a struggle as well. So,
Hmm.
so yeah, just kind of interesting how all that's working.
Yeah, and I guess depending on how long this actually lasts, maybe you could even set something up where, it's like, hey, if you want to have one workout a week with me, it's this going forward. Or, hey, if you want me to pre-record something and then you just do it on your own, then I charge you this much. But, yes, it's a financial hit, and of course we want to give to our clients as much as possible, but it comes to a point where we do have to bring some income in too. So there's always those ideas as well, something to think about.
Yeah, yeah, and thank you. I love those. That's definitely kind of where my head's been at if this goes on for more than a few weeks in
Yeah.
terms of I think I could potentially do kind of like weekly things, or I could even do weekly, depending on how similar the clients were. I could do like a weekly live type of workout where a few of them could tune in, or for the ones that I know would want more personalized care and attention, like you said, that could be done directly. And so yeah, there's definitely different options. It's at this point, I really, one of the things I've been coming back to as I've been reflecting on how and what to, like how to handle this situation is it's a lot of like basically being creative and and thinking outside of the box and just trying to figure out exactly what we're saying here. How do I provide for my clients and still get also have like myself provided for as
Right.
well from an income standpoint. So
Yeah. Yeah.
is
Well,
there
thank
anything you can do or like what are you thinking for your clients, since with touch is obviously the main part of it, so that's like something you can't really replace. How are
you.
you going about that?
Well, so for the massage part, I haven't really done too much thought about how I can provide, that kind of, obviously no physical touch, but
Yeah.
like when I did another Zoom video with a health coach last week, and one of the ideas was that I gave for something fun to do at home is do a massage train, and with your family, or so you sit in a line and then you just massage each other's shoulders, or husband and wife, or have the kids massage your feet when you're sitting on the couch at night. So that's maybe a way that you can get creative at home, is to massage each other's hands, feet, shoulders, do the massage train thing. But for my self-care, I've just been trying to do short videos, whether they're live on Facebook. Yesterday I wrote an article just sharing some of my frustrations and some things that I am grateful for. And I posted that on social media, and that it turned out to be better than I thought.
Mm.
Everyone was well received. And so I'm just, for the self-care, mostly it's just sharing little tidbits and techniques that have been practicing since I am home. And if people do, I guess I can even go on and just say, hey, if there's anything that you need from me, my massage clients, we can always do a virtual call or something like that, where it's like, hey, grab your spouse and here, this is how I would massage your shoulders, or do like a little demo kind of a thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that would probably be the only way that I'd be able to do that from home.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I like that though. I like the idea of kind of the demo
Hmm.
idea, like grab your spouse or your child or whatever, and that's kind of a fun way, like again to make the most of this and
Hmm.
create that human connection
Yes.
within a family unit.
Right. Yeah.
So that's cool. And then yeah, I think self-care is huge right now, obviously from so many different angles, from a physical standpoint, so we both fall into that category a little bit. People taking care of themselves and their
Hmm.
health is of the utmost importance, obviously, but also the mental emotional side of things. And this is something I work with my clients quite a bit too, not just the physical, but the mindset. And I know that it's great to hear that you received some good support, or good that was well received yesterday, because yeah, it's like everybody needs some, we all need it in general, but people are really realizing now like how much they really need the self-care type of stuff.
Yeah. It's crazy important right now. Mhm.
Yeah. To go kind of like along with that, how are you, like what kind of tools are you using for yourself or to shift your own mindset?
Yeah, to shift my mindset. Well, originally I started changing my mindset about a lot of things maybe 6 or 8 months ago. And when I get home at night at 8 o'clock or whatever, it's not feeling sorry for myself for working till 8 or 9 p.m. and having to log all my stuff and then do my laundry after a long day. It's No, I'm grateful that I'm working, because now I'm not working. And yeah, I'm grateful that I'm home, and like I said earlier, I'm grateful that my husband's working. But to change my mindset as I'm here, before I hit the record button, I was telling you, Ben, that I had just finished a live restorative yoga class through my fitness studio. And that was lovely because the instructor talked a lot about the same things I do, deep breathing and meditation and just calming the parasympathetic nervous system and activating the calming section of the vagus nerve, which I also wrote an article on a while ago. But yes, it's just practicing meditation and calming breathing to get through your day. Yep. And then another thing would be, it's kind of getting a little bit brighter out right now, is getting outside for fresh air and walks. And because when we are stuck inside, that makes us feel negative and consumed. So if we can change our mindset and get outside, get some fresh air and vitamin D, then we just feel better. It changes our mood.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. That's something that's worked really well for me, is consuming less, social media, any media outlet really. I want to stay informed, but at the same time,
Mhm.
I don't want to be constantly inundated by this, because um, I have a tendency to be a stressed and anxious person. So if I have all this this input, then my body like immediately starts feeling it. Sorry. So for me, like decreasing the consumption, and actually yesterday I like didn't go on my phone basically like at all, and it was so nice. With my wife and I like took the dog for a walk yesterday morning, and we're kind of tired of cold weather, but it's like one of those things where I was like, I don't care, it's 35 or 40 out, like I'm gonna put on whatever I need to. It was like pretty sunny at the time, so just going out and enjoying that, and being outside. Even it is kind of difficult being here in Chicago at this point, or Chicagoland area, but it's just helped so much. It immediately, something that I found in the past couple of years has really helped me in general, for stress and anxiety, but specifically right now, like you said, getting out of the house, kind of getting out of this, we all feel like we've been constrained to our house now. And I think it just like allows us to be more free, and it just has like a very calming sense.
Mhm.
At least for me, it's worked really well.
Oh yeah, I always feel better when I come back from a walk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I want to ask you one more question about how you see this virus and this, basically shutdown changing our businesses for the good, the bad, do you think there's going to be growth, or do you think there's going to be more loss? What do you think about how this is changing our small businesses?
Yeah. So I think I'm going to start this off with a positive, optimistic outlook, and just say that I really think that opportunities, or situations like this provide us an opportunity to grow as business owners, to grow as people. And so I am focusing on that and trying to be really hopeful, and um, kind of really looking at the opportunity of like, okay, this is a chance for me to revisit my business, revisit the way that I want to serve people, and just kind of think about things for the long term. All that said, I think that we're going to take a short-term hit. There's really no way around that. It's just it's a crazy situation that we have no control over, and it's going to happen. And like we kind of hit on earlier in the call, or the conversation here, if that starts to last long for whatever reason, once we get outside of, I feel like anything within 3 months is like, while painful and a struggle, it's like somewhat manageable. Whereas like if we start getting past that, then there's going to be bigger, bigger things for us that take a hit.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's going to shift all of business in some way, in terms of how we realize how we're connected with other people, how we realize we're connected within our communities, with our clients. It just kind of gives us a perspective of how, like, I mean, we can immediately see where our weak areas are, right? Like we can see where we're most vulnerable if something were to happen, that we're, if anything happened where we were shut down for a year, hopefully nothing like that ever happens, but it just allows us an opportunity to be like, hey, like, if this is what your business is, then just know that like you're going to be vulnerable if you can't be touching people.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be vulnerable to a situation where you can't be with them.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely, the short term is going to be hard. It's going to be a struggle. It's going to take a lot of, like I said earlier, creativity from us in terms of how to keep the business running, keep any type of income from our in-person services, and then long term, just trying to figure out what and if we like how we want to change what we're doing, how we're serving people. And so I think, for me personally, I've been kind of in this transition where I'm shifting a little bit to more of a remote model. So this has kind of just been like a confirmation for me of like, yep, like, this is really going to be, for situations like this is going to be beneficial. So yes, I think that's kind of it. I think small business in general, my message to anybody that appreciates small business and appreciates me or Sabrina and the things that we've done, please offer your support. This is a time where we need you. This is a time where we really need that. And this is not a time once we're back out there, that the example I was going to use is Starbucks. Like, this is not a time to go to Starbucks. Go to your local coffee shop.
Mm-hmm.
If you need groceries, try not to go to your chain, like go to a smaller, anything like that. Those bigger companies, they all have a huge pool to draw from. And, even if they're getting hit a little bit right now, it's still not going to be anything that tanks them in the long run. Whereas this is going to be really hard for a lot of small business owners. So that's kind of what I wanted to say on that.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate you mentioning that piece of making sure that you support other small businesses, because don't just go to the big grocery store, go to the little one. My husband and I did that yesterday. We went to our little grocery store, and plus there's less people. It's a smaller environment. I knew it wasn't going to be as crazy crowded, but yeah, I want to support them because they are a smaller business. And as a small business owner, it feels good when I am supported. So, but yeah, there was one other thing that I was thinking of when you were talking is, just getting really creative. You were saying about a backup plan. So I can't massage people right now. So now I'm interviewing people and being interviewed by other people, and just getting creative as how I can maybe create an online community for my self-care solutions. Yeah. So yeah, is there anything else that you want to say or cover or ask me before we close out?
I think that was mostly it. We kind of tied together everything towards the end there.
Yeah, I think that was a really good way to end our conversation. And I really appreciate, I reached out to you, Ben, and I know originally when we first met, we met on LinkedIn, and I don't remember if you reached out to me via message or whatever, and then we found out that we were local, so we met up and had coffee at a small business.
Yep.
And we just had a great conversation, and then we've been connecting and trying to connect people ever since we've gotten together. So yeah, thank you for doing this with me, and hopefully we can get a lot of traction and support each other, support other small businesses. So yeah, like Ben said, please, whoever is out there, support the small business owner, because especially in this time of craziness and, being sheltered at home, we need your support. Thank you
Yeah.
very much, Ben, and have a great
Thank
day, and
you.
we'll be in touch very soon.
Sounds
Be
great.
well.
Thanks so much, Sabrina. Everybody
Thank
stay
you.
safe.
All right. Bye.
Bye.